Relationships in the family, 7 practical steps of the husband. First, the husband must know the woman's opinion is as valuable as the man's. It is the husband's responsibility to build self worth in his wife and communicate his gratefulness for God's workmanship in her life thus far. Failure to take the time to help her express what she feels may produce frustration and feelings of inadequacy within her. Second, the husband's attitude towards his wife's everyday decisions has a direct effect on her attitude towards his major decisions. In situations where the husband does not have to have his way, if he is sensitive to his wife and willing to decide in her favor, it will be easier to her to submit to him when he makes decisions in which she has a differing opinion. Third, a husband should know how to empathize with his wife. The husband should try to feel as his wife feels, especially when she is ill or emotionally down. He needs to be sensitive to her needs, communicating love and reverence for her. A woman's cycles are often more pronounced than a man's. Fourth, the husband should learn to bear his wife's burdens. There should be a sufficiently deep and warm relationship between husband and wife that both are free to share burdens and problems without fear of rebuke or rejection. When the wife wants a listening ear, it is not the time to give her solutions to her frustrations. Husband and wives usually already know where their weaknesses are in their partner's eyes. When one complements the strength and achievements of the other, there is motivation to improve and please the other even more. Fifth, the husband should be compassionate. There is a tendency for many men to develop the idea that a real man is one who is dogmatic, authoritarian, and headstrong. These false ideas will get obedience, but they will fail to gain the wife's respect. It is the husband's responsibility to both love and lead. It is also imperative that the husband teaches his lips to say what he means them to say. The husband needs to learn to deal with a real problem rather than verbally attack his wife's character. When his wife upsets him, his motivation should be to discern what caused her to do what she did rather than to condemn her failures. 6. The husband should learn to use good manners at all times. The husband's manner towards his wife should have improved since their courting days. To be careless in this area communicates the idea that he takes her for granted and he has a lower opinion of her. A woman tends to believe what she feels and experiences. If she cannot feel that special attention, she is not likely to believe that her husband really cares. 7. The husband should set a godly example for living. This means the husband should show justice, kindness, goodness, and love, etc., and be willing to forgive. The wife's rule. Wives should submit to their husband as to the Lord. Wives should even submit to a husband who as yet is unsaved, and they should respect their husbands. First, a wife needs to have her focus on the Lord, developing her relationship with Him in order to have a good relationship with her husband. In fact, it is important that both the husband and the wife have their focus on the Lord. The closer they get to the Lord, the closer they will be drawn to one another. Second, a woman's intuition can be more accurate than a man's logic. Often she cannot put her feelings into words on the spur of the moment, but this should not be the basis for her to disregard his own opinions. Rather, she should share them with her husband. Third, how should a wife handle a disagreement which develops between her husband and herself, especially when she feels the husband is wrong? A wife needs to recognize that God is the head of her husband. Therefore, she can commit this difference to the Lord in prayer and ask Him to speak to her husband. If a wife maintains her attitude of submission both to his husband and to God, then God will change her husband's mind, especially if he is about to make a decision that would ultimately destroy God's purposes for their marriage or family. Fourth, a wife should not try too hard to keep her husband from getting it wrong, because the husband's pride and authority may be threatened and he will do just the opposite to have his way. Fifth, a wife should pray for her husband daily and encourage him in his role as the head of the family and in his work, etc. As I was meditating this morning, God gave me this word from Titus chapter 3 verse 2, to speak evil of no one, to be peaceable, gentle, showing all humility to all men, especially to our own household. One of the reasons most marriage or relationship failed because of pride that lead to lack of communication or no communication at all. And this was based on my own experience back then. Praise God that His grace saved us and teach us to deny ungodliness, and that we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present age. To God be the glory. God bless you.